Before you start your titration, rinse your burette, pipette, and flask with water. Make sure to do this twice for each piece of equipment. Open and close your burette so that you can rinse the water through the tip and then rinse the water throughout the rest of the burette. Now take your base and rinse it through the burette just like you did with the water. This is called charging the burette, and it makes sure that there are no water molecules in your burette and that any droplets are your base. Rinse the pipette with your acid. Set up your station by getting a ring stand and putting a burette clamp on it. Make sure that your clamp is tight and that it won't fall down. Clamp your burette onto the stand. Again, make sure that the burette is not going to fall down. Put a pipette bulb onto your pipette and squeeze it while pressing the A. Then place it into your acidic solution and squeeze the S so that you can bring the solution into the pipette. Measure out the acid until the mark. If you get too much acid, press the E to eliminate some of it. Then pour it into your Erlenmeyer flask. Carefully pour your base into your burette and go a little bit over the 0 mark. Try to pour slowly so that you can avoid air bubbles, and make sure you use a glass funnel at the top so that it's easier for you to pour it in. Place an empty beaker under your setup and open and close your burette a couple times until the solution reaches the 0 mark. This will get rid of any air bubbles. Remember to read from the bottom of the meniscus. Add 2 to 3 drops of your indicator into the flask with your acidic solution. Start adding your base into your acid by opening and closing your burette. Make sure you add it in small spurts and you swirl the flask constantly. We are now getting closer to the equivalence point as the color change is taking longer to go away. When you are at this point, take a reading from the top of the burette and write it down. From time to time, add some distilled water into your flask so that any droplets on the side go into the flask. Start adding your solution in a drop at a time once you are getting closer to your equivalence point. For us, our equivalence point is going to be green in color. Be patient because this can take some time, but even a drop over can cause a significant change. Here you can now see that the solution is green and that we have completed the titration. Take another reading and now you are done.